Hi there, welcome to NUNGATV. We're here today to talk to you about the mural project. I'm Layla, I'm the art teacher here at Warriappendi, and this is Donna. Donna's the artist, the artist that we employed to work with us on the mural project. The project started with us putting in a grant with Karklu, an Artists in Schools grant, which meant that we could employ a professional artist to come and work with our kids. So initially the process started with Donna and I sitting down with Chris, our principal, and talking to staff about what we wanted our mural to represent. So there were a few things, and Donna, feel free to add to the list of what we wanted to include in our mural.
The grant included the idea that it would be a contemporary graphic novel based mural with the students at the time being the focus, a legacy for future students, and also we wanted to incorporate the mural that was already on the wall. That was a consideration.
Sure. So we wanted a mural that students would come back in 5-10 years time and say, wow, that was my piece that I contributed, and that's what my life was about in 2014. That's what was important to me, and that's who I am. So culturally, that's who I am, and that's what I valued. So initially we had the idea of there being a lot of text and a lot of conversation, but that didn't really end up happening.
You know, working with so many individual ideas, we had to limit things somewhat.
Yeah.
And with the staff, we came up with the idea of incorporating the little bit of the flag in there, and still the use of graphic images. And one of the students had the great idea of the texting balloons. That is a very graphic novel icon, and worked beautifully on the mural.
Sure. So the way that we organised it was that the students were divided into 3 groups. We had a senior group, which are represented in the middle. We had a junior girls group and a junior boys group. And so each group were allocated a number of circles. Once the students came up with the idea, which is based, like Donna said, based on a Nunga flag, each group was allocated a certain number of circles to work within.
And then we developed ideas about what would go in those circles, how each student or group of students wanted to be represented. We went from there.
Sure.
Things evolved as we got onto the wall. They changed, and that's always interesting. As people got up and started painting, you know, ideas changed, things developed. What else?
Yeah. I think students, different groups chose to represent themselves differently. So the junior girls chose a selfie, which is there to represent themselves, and the boys, it was more about
landscape and about country and about traditional things, a lot of them.
So we've got the Flinders to represent students that have that background, the Swan and Nurringerry, the Butterfish, Narunga, and then all of the language groups are written up there as well. Not all of the language group, but the groups that many of the students that worked on the mural come from. The idea is that it's changeable. So, for example, the circle just here that has the empty text box, the idea is that students will, which is chalk, blackboard paint, the idea is that students will add their own comments, which will be wiped off and changed over time. But also the idea is that the circles aren't permanent, that if a different student group comes in, then they're able to paint over the circles. And I think that's probably the role that the pattern circles will play, because otherwise we lose that part of it being a legacy and being a snapshot in time. So please feel free to have a look. We'd love to hear your feedback, to see what you think. Have a look at our YouTube channel, and there's more to come.
Are you ready for this? Yeah.